But now we want to know
who is the best player in the world.
Do you have what it takes to be the best?
Latin.
Europe.
Asia,
China. Africa.
North America. See you all in the arena.
The NoTilt World Championship will have 4 stages. Everything starts with the 20-win challenge that will take place between July 23rd to July 26th. Only those who win the challenge will move on to the second stage. The second stage will separate players into 2 regions, East and West. Each region will have 8 brackets of 1,024 players. All brackets will be live streamed. Starting with the semifinals, this will happen from July 30th until the 14th of August. The winner of each bracket will then move on to stage 3. In this stage, the 8 winners from East will compete against each other, and the 8 winners from West will do the same in a round-robin format of their own region. The top players from each region will then move on to stage 4, the playoffs and the grand finals, which will take place on the 23rd of August, where a new Clash Royale champion will be born.
Do you remember the 2017 CCGS?
I do.
The best in the world competed there.
But now, some of them are gone.
Tali.
CMC Hill.
Yao, Yao.
Electrify.
Even Music Master is gone.
We had such great times.
We hated to see you go.
We miss you.
But not too much.
Clash Royale has evolved since then.
We already know the best teams.
But now we want to know
Who is the best player in the world.
Do you have what it takes to be the best?
Latin.
Europe.
Asia,
China. Africa.
North America. See you all in the
Well, I guess that's my cue. See you all in the arena. Hello and welcome everybody to the NoTilt World Championship Western Semifinals Day 1. And guys, I'm super excited to be here. If you don't know me already, I'm Rich Slayton, caster for Clash Royale League, here to talk you through some of the action for the NoTilt World Championship, the only truly worldwide open solo championship in Clash Royale today. Haven't seen one, of course, since 2017 CCGS, but now we get to have CRL and solo championship in the same year. It is super, super cool. Some of you guys might be watching me on the NoTilt YouTube page. Some of you might be watching me on my personal Trovo page, wherever you are. I'm glad to have you here. And today is going to be absolutely insane. Let me go ahead and cue up just a little graphic here so that you guys know exactly what we're doing, who we're looking at. It's going to be wild. Here you go. Check this out. The 4 players that are currently in today's qualifier. Ruben of Team Queso, one of the young stars out of Europe, who Team Queso was waiting for so long to turn 16. Finally in CRL in 2019. The kid is an absolute beast, some of the best micro you'll see in the game. One of the top American content creating and streaming stars, Boss, who you might remember back in the day as the Boss. Hey, now it's just Boss, who will be competing in CRL East this upcoming season. Very excited to see him there. And then, of course, right next to Boss on that graphic, a guy who is having probably the best 2020. No, not even probably. Let's get rid of the word probably and say definitely. 100% the best year in Clash Royale right now in 2020. No one is doing it like the God RF. Defending CRL Western Champion, top ladder performances, top performances in the NoTilt Worlds, top performances in a variety of those Revel Amar tournaments. The dude is absolutely murdering it this year, and if he keeps it going, it could end up being the best year in the history of Clash Royale. And then finally, the last man riding it out, a guy you might not be as familiar with, FelixElGrande, a talented player out of Mexico who is going to be looking to get his today against these three big-time stars in Clash Royale. We'll see how he fares against these guys. It's going to be a fun day. A little bit of explanation of what's actually happening in case you don't already know, and then I'll talk to the chat for a little bit, of course, once I get through this stuff. And we're going to have, I think, a video up here fairly soon explaining how everything works. But in case you don't know, the 20-win challenge, did you play it? How many wins did you get? If you got 20 wins, you got invited to this World Championship event. We had about 3,000 people qualify, split into two brackets, two regions, East and West. East takes place early in the morning. If you guys were here for that Eastern stream, you saw how tired I was. 5 a.m. stream. And then now we're on the Western side. West will always be around this time every day for these semifinals. Each region has 8 1,024-player bracket tournaments. That's how big it can be. 8 tournaments, and each tournament crowns one winner. That winner qualifies to the next phase, to the next stage of this World Championship. So, these players played through the rest of their bracket a couple of days ago, and now they're here for the semifinals and finals of this bracket. The winner of this bracket qualifies for the next stage and moves on. The losers of the bracket can go get into other brackets, but not this one. So one of these 4 will move on to the next stage today, and who's it going to be? Let me know in the chat who you think it's going to be. Is it going to be Ruben, the star of Spain? Is it going to be the God RF, currently most people call him the #1 player in the world? Is it Boss, the young American, or will it be FelixElGrande? So let me know in the chat what you guys think, who you think is going to go on to the next phase. If you were here this morning for the Eastern side, it was a brilliant, brilliant run, a great tournament, and a whole lot of fun. And coming out on top from there was Tribe Gaming's Jupiter King, who beat Igor and then Yakatori to secure his space in the next one. Let's go ahead and take a look at the chat here for a second. On the YouTube chat, seeing a lot of people saying, let's see, Booty, well, I'm not going to read your name anymore now that I saw it. One guy is rating Ruben above RF, above Boss, above Felix. All right. A lot of people saying hello. Ruben is God, says CASM Galaxy. Boss is better than Ruben, says Ryan Olson. All right. See some votes for RF. Here you go. Take a look at the brackets. See some votes for RF. RF for Ruben. Good to see you guys. RF for Boss, hands down. So on one side, it's going to be RF versus Ruben. Whoo, boy, that's a matchup. That is fire. Other side, it's going to be Boss versus FelixElGrande. Very exciting. Now over to the Trovo chat. What are you guys saying over here? A lot of people saying RF, but I hope it's Boss. A lot of Boss fans over there. A lot of people saying RF. Thanks for those of you joining and following. Jane, thanks for the follow over. Degenerative Orange, thank you for the follow also over on Trovo. Really do appreciate it. Trovo.live/Rich Slayton if you want to go ahead and join up with it. You're welcome anytime. Let's see some more votes for Boss. And our first matchup today, ooh, boy, it's what we call a doozy. A doozy? Is that a good word for it? Yeah, I think so. Ruben versus the God RF. 2 players who arguably both have can lay claim to top 20, top 10, certainly top 20, but maybe both of them can lay claim to top 10 players in the world right now when it comes to competitive Clash Royale. So we'll see how it goes. Greedy Goblin saying that Rich is going to win the championship. No way. Not possible. I am Trizash compared to these people. A lot of people, let's see, George 2000 saying RF will win, but I'm rooting for Boss. Go for it. And let's see. Oh, Moni Vargas modding over there on the YouTube chat. Thanks for hanging out. Taking a look over on the, taking a look over at the Trovo side. Brad fan, thanks for joining. Demon, good to see you. A lot of fun people. Here we go. Game number 1. No more wait. Let me go ahead and turn the volume up here on the game sound a little bit for you. Seems a little low on my side. So the bans are going to be Fisherman and Poison. This is a pre-ban bracket, meaning these players are all banning their games, their cards before the actual match starts. You know, another ban format would be ban on first loss, what they're doing in the AMG Cup right now. So similar looks so far from both players, Heal Spirit, Goblin Cage. Bats have an incoming nerf on their way. Assassin Mata. Andrew's probably at his house, I'm guessing. I'm in Montana. Very far away from Andrew, but maybe he's playing Valorant right now. He's been obsessed lately. Mega Knight to the left-hand side. RF looking like it might be Ram Rider here. High with the Magic Archer. Ruben picking it up with the Goblin Cage. Does that Heal Spirit get there? No, not quite in time. What's the format of this? Asks Justin Hammert. Well, this people qualified for these 8 tournaments in the West and 8 tournaments in the East. RF is running Hog, says Greedy Goblin. You might be right there. Now that I look at that again, that's probably Hogs. More likely than not with the Heal Spirit. Is KFC Clash in the chat? Did I see him? Australia's finest? I didn't think I saw him. Well, welcome if you are here, buddy. How many matches today? Pooty, there's going to be 3 matches today, 2 semifinals and 1 final for this bracket. So again, here's how it goes. Oh wait, hold on, let's take a look at this one for a second. Good Heal Spirit to support the Goblin Brawler, and RG goes the opposite direction. If you've watched my streams a bunch, I'll tell you that I've been saying that I thought that Heal Spirit would thrive in Royal Giant decks to win bridge battles and give the Royal Giant extra shots. Took a little while for Heal Spirit to really find its way to RG, but right now you can see the value. RG goes to the left-hand side, supported by the Heal Spirit. A nice high delivery prevents any extra healing from that one, though. RG still going to shred. RF behind on Elixir and not finding any solution for these Royal Giants, does not have the single target DPS to really pull it off. Royal Giant at the bridge, supported by the Bats. Musketeer in the back. Log trying to clear some more room. That Heal Spirit does work, and this is going to pretty much put things out of reach. Fireball Log will finish it. Ruben makes it look easy in game number 1. And there you have it. Of this best of 5, Ruben takes number 1. What's the format of the games, Justin? Good question. It's a regular BO5 with pre-bans. So bans are chosen before the match begins. I tend to prefer the ban on first loss format. You get 1 game with no bans, and then players have to make strategic choices about their bans as time goes on. But this is also cool as well. Oh, Asia, thank you very much for resubbing over on Trovo. Really appreciate it. Appreciate it indeed. Co-streaming here, the primary stream on YouTube for the NoTilt YouTube channel. And then a little side stream here for my family, for people over there on that side. Thanks for joining as always. David Lee saying, whoever wins this game will go to the next bracket. I'm calling it. Maybe, David. We'll see what happens, of course. This is stage 2. These players made their way out of the 1,024-person tournament, day 1. There's 7 more of these as well. But right now we're looking at Ruben versus the God RF. Next up, Boss versus FelixElGrande. And here we go, game number 2. Ruben with the advantage. Bans are Fisherman and Poison. That's a good ban from Ruben. I like the Poison ban from Ruben. It limits the likelihood of RF running Graveyard, but also gives you some other looks as well. You know, you don't want to ban I think banning Graveyard specifically is kind of a bad look against RF. You're just banning one archetype, but not really banning much in the game beyond that. Poison does narrow the deck pool a bit more and allow you to make better choices. So, solid ban from Ruben. Looking like Lumberloon here from RF. Lumberloon heal. And that's a solid log from the God RF. Royal Giant gets nowhere. Good adjustment here. Lumberjack will shred through those RGs. Snowball not quite ready, though. This will be just death damage, not connection. But RF taking an early lead. Ruben going with the same look from last time. If you guys were here this morning for the BO5 between Igor and Jupiter King, Igor ran the same deck 4 times in a row. Hey, Greedy Goblin, thank you for the compliment. I appreciate you saying I'm a great caster. And I'll keep on trying to bring you good Clash Royale content. Setting up one more time as RF with a solid lead here, 90 seconds in. Ruben up 1 game. Dab King, to answer your question, why are CRL players playing a no-tilt? Because this is not the no-tilt league. This is the no-tilt world championship. This is a solo world championship with a $50,000 prize pool. You see there, RF nearly connecting. Ruben's right-hand tower down to 1622. Mr. Bacon, yes, to answer your question. In the week leading up to CRL East, we'll be talking about it. Well, Greedy Goblin, lucky for you, that match is up on my YouTube. Between matches, I will go ahead and link you the video so you can watch that one. It was amazing. Went a full 5 games. Lumberjack in all over the Musketeer. Bats trying to slow things down, but this RG already in trouble before crossing the bridge. Brawler and Ice Golem up high. Good fireball value here for Ruben, but still not going to get much out of it. Balloon into the right-hand side, fireball to stop it. But death damage keeps getting in, and that's all RF really needs here is death damage to stop the RGs. You do those 2 things, that's a GG well played. Musketeer down low. Heal Spirit in high. And that was a solid Heal Spirit, but did not get to the bats, unfortunately, for RF. Here we go, sudden death overtime. Ruben ahead in games, but behind in damage. You can see the game score over on the left-hand side of your screen. And look at that, high Royal Giant out of Ruben to cover for the Musketeer. Protect your Musketeer, folks. That's often a rule number 1, and now 2 down for the Spaniard. High Lumberjack with a Heal Spirit to help, but a Fireball makes a lot of room here. And just like that, Ruben is starting to turn the tide. 958 right-hand side for Ruben's tower, 1585. This has been a single lane game the entire way through. No one has switched sides at all. Lumberjack in, that's a lot of fireball value high. But Brawler will, and there's one of the combos people forget about, and this is why Lumberloon Heal was so popular for a minute. The ability, the amount of DPS that a Lumberjack Rage adds on to a Goblin Brawler is massive, and that's a big reason why you're seeing these RGs have so much difficulty breaking through. Lumberjack high again, this time Balloon behind, and a Snowball gets the bats out. RG making a beeline for the tower, not going to get that much damage, and that Balloon's going to connect. Here we go. Oh my word, that one stopped. How did that not actually put a balloon drop on the tower? Doesn't matter, Lumberjack finishes it. The God RF takes game 2. We are all tied up. What a game that one was, folks. Royal Giant, my favorite, Rich. I wouldn't say it's my favorite there, Besnick, but I don't hate it the way I used to. If you had to choose a player to BO5 for you for $1 million, which player would you choose and why? I'll tell you right now, I would choose RF because he's the most untiltable player. I would not choose his partner, Aw Crap, not because of skill, but because he would lose it just to make me, just to mess with me. He'd activate King Tower to open up and then turn and laugh at me while I didn't get $1 million. Here we go, stats view courtesy of Stats Royale. If you don't know what your next chest is. Guess what? Stats Royale will tell you they cracked the code. Really want to see RF run Graveyard, says Justin. Yeah, that makes sense. I'd agree. But the Poison Ban certainly limits the kind of Graveyard decks. We could see Graveyard Cannon Cart with arrows, and that's a possibility. Richard C. KFC winning the 20-game challenge in the middle of the ocean. No, Jeffrey Lee, but that sounds like a thing. Hey, Nick, Lancelot the Ocelot, good to see you. So you guys know, streaming on both NoTilt's YouTube page and on my Trovo page, so welcome to join either way. Does Ruben have a signature deck? You know, I don't really know if Ruben has something that he's known for. Specifically. Mateen, my thoughts, the balance. See, look, you lead. Mateen, your question leads in a direction. It's funny, I saw Drew post something on Twitter today about the life of a community leader, and I mean, I can't even forget of a CM, community moderator. What is that? What's CM actually stand for? Anyway, I saw him post something about it, and one person on Reddit had posted that these were the worst balance changes ever. The other person posted they were the best balance changes ever. I think they're pretty good. Did I win the 20-win challenge? Absolutely not. Am I rich or enchanted? I'm Rich Slayton, caster for Clash Royale League. I don't think Enchant and I have very similar voices, but, you know, do you. Miner to the left-hand side, so Ruben running looks like it's going to be Miner Loon's Giant Skeleton. Miner Wall Breakers for RF. There you go, ballooning to the right-hand side. Wall Breakers will connect. Balloon will go to the bomb tower, and oh boy. Miner Wall Breakers, but with bomb tower, Ice Wiz, NATO. Still, a balloon connection comes on in on the right-hand side. I think Mohamed Light is a fantastic player. Excited to see him in CRL East this season with kicks. Bats on the left-hand side, 1391 there. Pretty much even between the bottom left and the top right between RF and Ruben. Ruben was an absolute star and a rocket on top of this. Man, RF better win this one with this deck. NATO, Rocket, Bomb Tower, Ice Wiz against Giant Skeleton Loon. We'll see. Justin, you can find the stream schedule on the NoTilt Twitter account at NoTiltGG. At NoTiltGG. Let me go ahead and actually I think I can grab that for you right now. NoTiltGG will give you all of the information you need. Miner into the bomb tower. And these balloons, there you go. NATO does go to King Tower. That's a fine NATO to King Tower. No taking extra damage. This is a BO5 Pro Clasher Jorge. Look at the left-hand side. You can see the score already. 1 win for Ruben in game number 1 and a win for RF in game 2. I've heard rumors that Moogie's going to CRL East. Wall Breakers. Second one does connect. 898 left-hand side. Final 20 seconds of regulation. Ruben doing a good job of keeping pressure on here. Despite having a lot of good defensive tools for this matchup, this has not been an easy one so far for RF. Seems like he's repaired his cycle, though, at this stage. For those of you asking, this is Stage 1 West. Stage 1 East finished this morning with a flare. I'll go ahead and link the video for that in between games. Balloon in right-hand side, Baby Dragon behind. One interesting factor here is that RF does have that King Tower activation, making that Miner chip just a little bit less valuable. Miner goes to the back inside. Gonna take that Giant Skeleton for a long walk. Snowball does not stop the second one, and that's a GG well played. RF takes game number 3 and the lead. Great work for the God RF. Little dicey there at stages. There were some moments where things looked like they could go wrong. But in the end, RF able to hold on. If you guys missed the Eastern semifinal, let me go ahead and share the link with you guys right now. Here you go in the chat. Leaving it right now. There's the link for East Day 1. I'm going to go ahead and link that right in the chat for you guys over on Trovo as well, in case you missed it. In case you were asleep. Alejandro, the link is right above. You can go and watch it right there. Anvesh ready, Bulla ready. No, I will not shout you out. Do you see what I did there? You see how that one worked? Hi, guys. I'm Rich Slayton. If you don't know me, caster for Clash Royale League. Also a content creator, YouTuber, streamer, comedian, father, high-level disc golfer, moderate Clash Royale player. Happy to be here with you guys, talking through the action. One more look. Oh, no more looks at the stats. Let's just get right back into the action. Game number 4, match point for the God RF. And coming up next, guys, after this one, it will be Boss versus FelixElGrande. So the winner of this will face off against Boss and FelixElGrande. How many days of Stage 2? Steve Stone, good question. There are 8. There's, I guess, technically called 16. Not really. So there are 16 overall brackets of up to 1,024 players. And right now, those brackets, so there's a bracket took place this morning for West, but that semifinal happens on the 3rd. But yeah, there's about this phase. All the information is on the NoTilt at NoTiltGG on their Twitter page. Here we go. Graveyard for RF. You wanted to see it. Here you go. Giant GY. And that's going to be tower down left-hand side. Oh, my word. You wanted to see RF play Graveyard. Here you go. Karthik, I did do the English commentating for East this morning. There's the link for it right there. I'll even go ahead and at you in the link. There you go. Guys, you wanted to see a Graveyard out of the God RF Poison Band. Not going to do it. Hey, Chugga. Thank you very much. Appreciate the support. Tumas on the Trovo chat asking, hi, Rich, how many matches have been played before God RF and Ruben? This is the only match. So there are 3 matches today. First, there's this one, Ruben versus RF. This one feeling like it could be over, but we'll see. There is very little elixir in the hand of RF, and oh, never mind. Bats are going to take care of that one. Muskie does not survive. Probably a GG here for RF. Then coming up next, after this one, the boss will be Boss versus FelixElGrande. The winner of that will take on probably RF, looking like here. Now, don't worry if you're a big Ruben fan. You guys are fans of Team Queso or Spanish players overall. Ruben will have 6 more chances to qualify for the event. So we'll see if he can get that done. Rage in. So not Goblin Giant Sparky Rage, but regular Giant Sparky Rage. Interesting wrinkle in a very popular deck. Very popular, relatively toxic deck, depending on who you ask. This could be dangerous, though. Mini P.E.K.K.A in, Rage down. Snowball trying to stop that connection. And a Goblin Cage just barely gets in for RF. Ruben nearly extended the action, but RF holds on and moves to the final. There you have it. What great play. Gaming with Arun. Are you Rich, or is your name is Rich? My name is Rich, and I do okay. Great work there from RF. Winning it in 4. And you can see the stats provided by Stats Royale. Give this a pretty even matchup on the data between Ruben and RF. Pretty big push to open things up from Ruben and punish in the opposite lane. You know, you ban Poison, you think the likelihood of RF running Graveyard diminishes drastically. And he goes, hey, guess what? I could just run Graveyard anyway. So there you go. there you go. Yes, there will be a CRL East preview. I'll try to get some of the same people from last time. Animals248 asking, do I like this? I like all the spells besides NATO and Earthquake getting a nerf. I'm a little bit skeptical on the delivery nerf. I'm unsure about that one. We'll see. Valentin, do you have a second chance when you fail in one bracket? Absolutely. So Ruben will have another chance. He'll have 6 more chances. If you make a semifinal, you cannot play in the immediate next qualifier or first part of the bracket, because you might take a semifinal spot from somebody if you're already qualifying. Yeah, I'm not sure about delivery having the knockback removal. We'll see. It kind of needs the knockback, but delivery was maybe a little bit too powerful, so a little challenging there. RF, moving on. Man, this kid's having a great 2020. Unbelievable 2020 so far. Of course, Space Station Gaming coming off of a CRL West win. RF and AC joining Javi Catorze as the only 3 players to win a Western Regional Championship in CRL more than once. Javi winning it with Vivo Key in CRL Latin America. AC and RF winning the first season of CRL North America, with Immortals coming back and doing it again with their coach trainer Luis for CRL West. Of course, don't forget that you do have some players in East who've done it back-to-back, not to mention. On top of that, Sergio Ramos, the CCGS World Champion, won a World Championship and Regional Championships with Nova Esports, then came back and won a Western Championship with SK Gaming. So, a lot of talent there. That reverse sweep over Tribe at CRL. Yep, that was a big one there for Space Station. What are my thoughts on working all the spells? Steven Stone, I think it'll be interesting. Here's one thing that the people will, with a lot more competitive Clash Royale coming between NoTilt and the AMG Cup, which resumes on August 4th, resumes in a few days. People are going to have to relearn their entire spell cycle numbers, right? The majority of spells had their numbers nerfed, so it's no longer 201 at tourney standard for a fireball, right? Things are going to change a whole lot, so I'm curious to see how many mistakes get made in high-pressure situations over the course of the next week as players adjust themselves to that spell damage reduction to Crown Towers. Here we go, our other side of the bracket. Boss versus FelixElGrande, a North American matchup. And oh no, it's the Barb Hut both directions. Barb Hut on both sides, and guys, if you watched me stream Clash Royale before, you know the Barb Hut and I are not close friends. Wouldn't even call us acquaintances. Maybe bitter enemies. And looks like FelixElGrande probably going Eagle and Battle Healer. All right, we'll see what happens. Log should counter air troop as deployed into the arena. Very interesting. So Felix sets up with the Battle Healer way in the back. And if you guys weren't following, Boss will be playing in CRL this season, in CRL East with TTG. Some of the new signings for this Eastern season. Going to be a lot of fun to see him there. Yeah, Eagle and the Stinky Cheese coming in, guys. This will be a thing that happens. Dark Enchilada on the Trovo chat saying Bowler will be good. I think so too. I'm excited for the Bowler rework. If you guys might not know, but my original comfort deck was Bowler Bow Minor. I know. Don't hate me. When is CRL East? Anvesh starts. The official currently start date is August 15th. Thoughts on Mugi? Can't wait to see him play more. So FelixElGrande playing the slowest version of Eagle and Battle Healer I've ever seen. I've never seen someone wait this long to spam an Eagle. Boss looking like Graveyard soon. So Graveyard Barb Hut against Eagle and Battle Healer. Ooh boy. Someone get me some cold water so I can calm down. Fisherman versus Balloon as the bands. And Musketeer going to shred that right-hand tower. So if Boss can defend here fairly well, which 2 Battle Healers, all the Barbarians a skeleton dragon, a pile of elixir golems, more skeleton dragons. Oh boy. Nice knight there by Boss to pull all of that support back into the poison. Sharp high knight by the American, and that should give him a big advantage. He's going to go with the graveyard into the right-hand lane, I believe. No, he gets stopped high by the battle healer, but Felix in a whole lot of trouble. There goes the graveyard, just as that baby dragon crosses the bridge, and all the damage on the left-hand side. Felix being forced to spend defensively in both lanes, has to split his focus, and there you go. Boss takes the win. That was some clean gameplay by Boss. Very, very clean gameplay by Boss. There you go, taking a look at the numbers, and that's right down the middle as far as the matchup goes. Both of these decks very popular in the game right now. That defense from Boss was sick. The High Knight was great. The poison, and then the Knight to pull all that back in. Boss played that very, very well. I wish Rocket got more of a decrease in damage. What do you think, Rich? You agree? I'm not sure. We'll find out. I'm always very wait and see on balance changes. You know, I don't judge them heavily right out the gate. I'm skeptical about the log balance change. Someone said earlier today that the log balance change means you can no longer log the Goblin Barrel and the Princess when playing against bait with one log. I don't know if I like that. We'll find out. We'll see. I also get beat by bait all the time, though, so that might just be my bias against bait, having been clapped by it literally hundreds of times. Here we go, game number 2. Boss up 1. RF waiting in the wings to see who he will play. And by the way, if you guys didn't see the Eastern play this morning, there's the replay of the Eastern region from this morning, the very early morning. Wall breakers over to the right-hand lane. Cage pick him up easily for Boss. So minor wall breakers for FelixElGrande. And the Heal Spirit forces out a Knight to deal with that Brawler. And that's a good minor. Look at that minor pull from FelixElGrande. Forces the Bandit out from Boss. So cheeky little minor there from Felix. Doesn't get the damage he quite wanted out of it, but did force out some more elixir, so there is value in that minor play. Good pressure here, goes to the back this time. E-Wiz high for Boss. Wall breakers into the right, let's see if they connect. And a solid log, 1646 so far though. FelixElGrande controlling game 2. 2 minutes away, here we are heading into double elixir time. And Boss has to figure out some way to keep up with the onslaught right now. FelixElGrande doing a good job of splitting lanes, putting pressure on both sides. All the damage on the right so far. Bomb tower for Felix, so assuming this is Royal Hogs, that'll make this even more difficult for Boss. Delivery misses one piggy. And this Magic Archer staying on the board for a minute here. Bandit will protect. Final 20 seconds, and now, just like that, Boss back in the game. Miner goes into the outside. Outside low. E-Wiz comes down low on it. Log will defend for Boss. And a good poison to get 2 damage dealers off the board. Boss, though, slightly ahead, and that Bandit Dash does not get all the way through. Now it will. Huge, huge push here for Boss in both lanes. Hogged on the left-hand side, Bandit on the right, and just like that, Boss puts this thing back in contention. We're tied up crosswise here, 10:53 to 10:53. Boss does have the lead in dual lane pressure, though, on the right-hand side. FelixElGrande goes low and outside with a miner, getting more chip damage. Here we are in the final 90 seconds of gameplay. And things swung in just a moment. High poison out of Felix. Heal Spirit will keep the Mega Knight in the game. E-Wiz behind. Felix spending a ton just to keep this fight at the bridge. Don't know if it's going to help. Bomb Tower, though, will pick up these piggies. Final 60 seconds. Magic Archer low. You know Boss is trying to keep that Magic Archer on this side as much as possible. Miner goes to the inside, pulls the Bandit to the right. FelixElGrande in the lead, 7:06 to 9:34, 45 seconds left. Bandit does not get the pickup here for Boss. And anything that Boss can do to keep that poison off his tower is going to be a big, big bonus. One piggy does escape, and that piggy could be a difference maker. Right-hand side, down to 6:73, 24 seconds left. This time the Bandit does pick up the Miner. Mega Knight leaping all over the middle of the field, and a Magic Archer on the right-hand side that Felix might have to pay attention to. That bomb tower not going to stay up for long. Piggy's trying to escape and get on tower, not going to do it. Felix completely clogging up the right-hand side. Miner in spears. Log pulls him off. Magic Archer trying to keep this tower up, but you have to get damage as well. Boss takes the L in game 2. Very well played by FelixElGrande. We are all tied up after 2. Dank asks, are they not allowed Fisherman or Balloon? Yes, those two are banned. Each player chooses a ban card before the match, Dank. And there you go. What a game there, folks, huh? What a game indeed. Let's see. Hey, another question, Rich. Do you think making predictions like, for example, like logging a Skarmy, does that make you a good player? Well, Omotayo, it kind of depends. Are you and Andrew really good friends, Steven Stone? Yep, absolutely. But probably more like brothers at this point. We fight like it too sometimes. We laugh. We live a life together when it comes to Clash Royale. No more raffles today, Chuck Wagon, asking in Trovo, but I will be doing another one of those gift sets very soon. Here we go, game number 3. Here's the thing about a prediction, right? Let's say that you drop a hog to open up and immediately log with that hog and they've dropped a Skarmy for it. That's not a prediction. You just hog logged to open. But if you keep track of their cycle, see they're defending with Skarmy over and over again, and then know the Skarmy is in cycle, drop your hog and log a Skarmy that you've been keeping track of, that's a good play. Some predictions are actually predictions, and some predictions are just luck. Who'll sing? I prefer ban after first loss for a number of reasons. We talked about it kind of ad nauseum today. Love from this side of Nigeria. Mike, love from this part of Montana. So FelixElGrande running minor wall breakers with some Ice Whiz. Boss with Zap, you don't see that very often. I mean, you might see Boss with Zap, but you don't see a lot of Zap. Sparky going to the left-hand side and Rocket. Okay. This will be interesting. Yeah, I've heard Mega Knight, something about a Mega Knight tower skin from Animals. Cool. First 90 seconds away. Pretty even in this one. And Boss isn't going to get a whole lot out of that Sparky, I don't believe, because, you know, Rocket. We'll see what other methodology Boss can come up with to get damage on tower. Right now, FelixElGrande in the driver's seat. Wall breakers in, not going to connect here. And Boss with 7 on the board. And this will be a little bit of damage here. 2 shots from the Musketeer on the right-hand side. 18-10 remaining, final minute. Here we go. Dark Prince picks up on the back, 17.05 to 18.10. Wallbreakers pressure the opposite lane. And now Boss chooses to eat the damage and just go for it on the right-hand side. We'll see how that works. Bomb tower. Boss rages it up. I don't know if this data will be enough, though. There you have Boss putting a lot of pressure on. FelixElGrande trying to hold on, but boom, that's tower down. And Felix gives the good game. The American could just sit back and defend on the left-hand side. Defensive rage. And here we go. Boss gonna win game 3. So far, second verse looking like the first. In the first game, Ruben won. Game number 1 in first match. And then RF came back and took it in 4. Can Boss match his American counterpart? And see what happens. Yeah, Boss's rage was nice. Are the players sitting at home? I don't know where they're sitting online marquee, but they're sitting somewhere. Maybe they're standing. Maybe they're dancing. They might be dancing outside playing. I have no idea. Am I still doing giveaway tournaments every Wednesday on Trovo? Steven, as long as I don't have another conflict from another casting event, then yes, I do open tournaments pretty regularly. Here's the overall look at what we're seeing today, by the way. We are in stage 2. Let's jump back into it. Game number 4. Boss now with the advantage. Match point for the American. Elixir Gaming saying, do you think they will ever have CRL in America? What do you mean? CRL films in Los Angeles. We had World Finals in Los Angeles this year. I don't know what you're talking about. Elixir Gaming, we have CRL in America. There are many American players. In fact, the CRL Western Champions this season consist of an American duo, RF and AC, for the 2v2. Animal saying, do you think Clan Wars 2 will be good? I'm excited for it. I'm really excited for it. Some cool new game modes. Bringing in some really cool, some of the stuff they're doing in Clan Wars 2 I think is really, really awesome. So we'll see how it plays out in the long run. I think it's going to be a totally new way to play the game with your clan. I think it's going to make clans a lot more impactful to your experience in the game. RG for FelixElGrande and 3M Royal Hogs for Boss. Lord Baelish, good to see you. So things slowing down here as we reach the midway point of regulation time. FelixElGrande with a slight lead. Adding to it with that chip log. But a Heal Spirit behind. Dark Prince not going to be quite there. Boss did get the bats mostly out of the way, but not much more than that. Here we go. RG going to get 2 shots. No, just 1. 14.03 on the right-hand side. FelixElGrande in the lead. Omotayo, I meant to say keep a track of the cycle of predicting this, so does that make you a good player or no? I don't think any one thing, and take a look at that play by FelixElGrande. Knows he doesn't care about a King Tower activation, so why not hit the 3M when they're behind King Tower? Smart gameplay here. Smart move by Felix. But not enough for defense, apparently. And just like that, Boss takes the lead back, 11.65. And a lead change again. Guys, if you're playing RG, who cares about a King Tower activation? Get those 3M. Take care of business. Solid log here from Felix. But another lead change here, 10.47 to 10.65. Three Musketeers this time split high. Solid dual lane damage so far by the American. And the Barbarian connects on the right-hand side. Musketeer on the left, down to 685 and 503 Boss. very close to taking this one. FelixElGrande has not had the same advantage. Nice fireball there. Huge fireball from FelixElGrande. So much value out of that one, and just like that, his hopes get a little bit better. Aggressive RG right at the bridge. Heal Spirit into the Hunter. One shot, but it's one big shot. Fireball to the left-hand side. Got to keep as much of that damage off as possible. Two piggies do go in for a couple snouts. 302 to the right-hand side. 449 to the left. Here we go. Final minute 5. And a solidly timed bar barrel out of boss, and plenty of elixir to defend against this Royal Giant. Does not want to give more than one shot. Gives 2 shots though. Fireball in, but boss gets it done, and there you go. The American is going on to the final against the God RF. Great play. Boss bided his time and put the pressure on when it was time, when he needed to. Some solid fireball work on the 3 Musketeers from FelixElGrande, but just couldn't hold on against the dual lane pressure in the long run. Lady Royale asking, what's the prize pool? $50,000, Lady Royale, for this event. And there you go, boss moving on. Big time win there. All-American battle here for the first qualifying round for stage 3. Winner moves on. Loser has to go try to qualify one more time. Chugga saying, so with Log and Rocket only nerf at Princess Tower level, get ready for a whole season of annoying log bait. What do you think would be the best counter? Well, first of all, Chugga, keep this in mind that, no, not finished. There's going to be one more match online marquee. Keep this in mind, Chugga, that also means that if you're running Rocket and Log in your log bait deck, especially Rocket, that's nerfed for you as well. So it's going to be harder for a log bait deck to Rocket cycle down your tower. So I don't know if that necessarily makes log bait more annoying this year. Who knows? Groundhog saying, just cheer for everyone. And I'm trying to keep an eye on both chats best that I can, while also casting. Omotayo, so yeah, just keep track of your opponent's cycle and make you a good player. Nothing individual makes you a good player, Omotayo. Maybe you're great at predicting and keeping track of cycle, but you're terrible at elixir management, right? There's no individual thing that makes you a great player. Making one move doesn't make you a great player. So a lot of different possibilities. This is the worst cooking stream ever, says Justin. Yeah, dude, you're absolutely right. I have not made one item of food this entire time. And so if you guys did miss, let me go ahead and put this in. If you guys did miss the Eastern broadcast from this morning, there's the replay. There's the link to what's happening in East. And here we go. Let's take a look at some of the action from these early rounds. We still have more coming on. VJ. Well, there'll be more of them, so make sure you come on by. Moogie did not play in the first one, Lord Baelish. The first one was Igor, Jupiter King, Yakitori, and what's the I feel bad forgetting the last guy's name. Hold on. I have it right here. He was kind of a newcomer to being in a position this big. Hold on. I got it. Wait while these replays play. Oh, well, the NoTilt channel. Arpin. That was the fourth player this morning. Indonesian player. When is CRL World Finals? In December. Gaming with Vishal. I think there'll be 3 popular versions of GY. Valk Archers, Bowler GY, Splash Yard Cage, Barb Hut, Bomb Tower, says Swimmer. Interesting. People think now, you and Andrew should make a cooking channel. You know, I don't know much about Andrew's cooking. I never had Andrew's cooking. I'm a pretty good cook. I make solid chicken shawarma. Make a decent hot and sour soup. Some good salmon recipes. Killer meatloaf. I can cook. Let's see. Fair point, but the win condition is barrel related to rocket and log bait is being used as a spell cycle. Deck as Expo does. Yeah, I just don't know if the spell tower damage reduction, the tower damage reduction to spells benefits log bait in any particular way. I think the reduction in log range might. So here we go. Taking a look at the bracket. Moving on to our final to see who qualifies for phase 2 here for stage 3. I'm sorry, who qualifies for stage 3? God RF and Boss. What about double bait, Mateen? Shamsul asked, did Vulcan retire? He retired from competitive. Just does content creation now. So here we go. I'm pumped for this one. Currently thought of by many as the best in the world. The God RF certainly having the best 2020 of anybody. Up against the young gun Boss, making his CRL East debut later this month. Alicia Perez, the Esports Royale Twitter put out a bunch of information on it. You can go to Reddit or to Twitter, and they released a ton of information about CRL World Finals. Check out at Esports Royale EN. So Boss goes Sparky opening game, and RF going double bait. Hey, Clash Royale Esports in the house. Guys, go to at Esports Royale EN for all your CRL info. Right now, it's all about the NoTilt World Championship. Delivery gets there just in time for RF. RF is an underrated double bait player, underrated bait player in general. Known for Graveyard, Splash Yard in particular. But keep an eye on what he does in this game. Very underrated with this deck, in my opinion. People don't talk about how good he is with it. Maybe some pros do, but... Sparky to the right-hand side. Just slowly worrying its way across the bridge. Barrel to the right-hand lane. And Zap is really an imperfect counter, so we'll see how that works. Well defended by RF. Here's the hard part for Boss in this matchup, right? Is that you really want to have the Zap for the Skeleton Barrels if you can. But the Skeleton Barrels have that death damage. Zap's not great. He's going to give up damage from those Goblins every time. And that's a good chunk on the left-hand side. Boss just spread way too thin here. Choosing maybe to eat some damage and try to build a counter push. But RF significantly ahead now, with solid damage in the right-hand lane and not insignificant in the left. Doing a good job of spreading his opponent thin. That's the idea with this double bait deck. This time Zap comes out. And nice second Inferno Tower from RF. Delivery gonna have to come down though to help out. Makes just enough room, but that Goblin Giant is gonna do a lot of damage on the left-hand side. RF in a lot of trouble here. This could be a tide turning moment. Dark Goblin low, Musketeer healthy, Dark Prince healthy, Mini P.E.K.K.A, and just like that, we are going to sudden death overtime. Woo! That's what Clash Royale is all about. Look at the damage on the King Tower here. Oh my word. RF loses track of the Musketeer, and Boss steals that one in the final moments. There we go. That's what you're watching for, folks. Good close finishes, back and forth gameplay. And Boss running Goblin Giant Sparky. He loves to. And RF had a pretty good position overall. But in the long run, could not hold off against the big Goblin Giant Sparky pushes. Background music. There is background music. I don't know. Maybe let me turn up the volume here a little bit. And you saw early on, you think you get an advantage like that in single against this deck, and you have the game pretty nicely locked up, but Boss had a good job of battling back. And looking at I didn't even talk about the bans beforehand. Fisherman the ban for RF, and Boss just straight up banning Graveyard. So you saw RF run Graveyard last time, and I said before, I don't love a straight up Graveyard ban against RF. It means you never have to see it, that's true, but I really liked the Poison ban that Ruben ran against him as a better ban when it comes to Graveyard. Yes, we still saw Graveyard, and there's a nice easy King Tower activation there. Look at that placement. If you don't know, now you know. That's how you activate King Tower against Skeleton Barrel. So Ice Bow, aka Ice Rocket, as it's called now, for Boss. Shamsul, I'm not in charge of whether there's player cams or not. It does add some technical hurdles when we're talking about everyone being at home. So here we go. First minute 15 away. And RF just trying to chip away best he can. Interesting NATO here from Boss. And sets up defensive Expo on the right-hand side. If I were Boss, I almost would have let that barrel go with the King Tower activation and the Expo down. Skeleton Barrel into the left-hand side. Here we go, double elixir time on its way, and so far RF ahead, but the longer this goes, the closer we get to those rockets hitting your tower over and over again, and nobody likes to deal with that. Expo to the right-hand lane one more time. Tesla's still active. So far, RF doing what he has to do again in this matchup. Build as much of a lead early as he can. Needs to get a little bit further. Yeah, Steve, people ask for that matchup all the time, man. I'll try to make it happen, but no promises. Goblins do a little bit more work to that left-hand lane here. Tesla set up on the right, and now the first offensive Expo from Boss. And a nice high Inferno to burn it out immediately. But the rocket cycle begins for Boss as he gets that elixir advantage. And just like that, you can see how much the elixir of the damage advantage of RF evaporated. Just in that one sequence. A couple log chips, rocket to the left-hand side. And what had been taken RF 3 minutes to build up disappears in mere seconds. And rocket cycle one more time. So those of you guys who were against the nerf to crown tower damage, this is the deck that might get hurt the most from it. And here we go. Final minute, triple elixir. Good luck to RF, but it looks like Boss probably has this one locked all the way down. Fireball in. NATO to pull those skellies back. And RF just has to spend so much to even get on tower here. And Boss can just defend one more time, 2 more times, and rocket cycle this out. There you go, rocket cycle in. Although that log not helping with the chip damage. Final 30 seconds. More goblin barrels in. I wonder if at some point RF goes with a cheeky dog. Oh, does not get the Ice Whiz down. Does RF go with a cheeky juke barrel here just to try to get on tower and get around a log? And no, he doesn't. Goes to the front. Dark Goblins don't quite get there, and there's the rocket. Ice Bow spell cycles its way to victory once more. And there you go. Boss now 2 up with match point. That's a huge one. So Ice Bow is obviously a bit of a polarizing deck. And you see the matchup data here has it for RF in this matchup. I don't know what the background music is called there, Legend. But it's not bad though. It's pretty cool, huh? Here's the sort of the issue with Ice Rocket, right? Ice Rocket, Ice Bow, whatever you want to call it right now. You see that advantage gives it to the God RF. But you do talk about the when you get into pro levels, how that number might not exactly indicate what the matchup numbers are way up high, right? Talking at this level, different matchup than this level, than this same matchup played at 5K, right? 2 5,000 trophy players playing this matchup will have a very different result or very different balance overall than 2 top pro players. So one of the interesting things to talk about when it comes to Ice Rocket or Ice Bow overall. Here we go. Game number 3. RF needs a reverse sweep here. Boss has to win just 1 out of 3 to secure his spot in the second stage or in the third stage. So Boss probably going Sparky one more time. And RF does take 1 shot from the mini pickup, but also does activate King. And Battle Healer for RF. Is RF going filthy here with his back to the wall? Very interesting. Dark Prince down in response. Battle Healer's not going to survive very long. And RF drops down the Barb Hut. This is the second time today that we've seen a top-tier player throw out E-Golem when it's all on the line. Someone else did it today on the eastern side. Not going to tell you who. Go ahead and check that out. I'll link that in the chat one more time. Goblin Giant mini peck out of the left-hand lane. RF now. More on the board and more in the hole. Let's see if he can press the advantage as we get into double here. Fireball takes care of business. Sparky up one more time. E-Drag will solve that problem most of the way around. So a good situation here for RF, knowing he's facing elimination. And that rage to get the E-Drag off the board does work. Forces the fireball out, and just like that, RF's elixir advantage begins to dwindle. That was a smart rage by Boss to give that Musketeer the extra juice to get the Electro Dragon off the board. Split lane one more time, Sparky to the right. Goblin Giant mini P.E.K.K.A to the left. That's been the story. And again, same high rage here with that Musketeer way out of range. And RF uses his last piece of elixir for Fireball. And again, it feels like the momentum's starting to go towards Boss. And these rages have been perfectly timed out of Boss. perfectly, precisely timed rages, perfectly placed. You know, Rage is another card people might have some strong opinions about, but I've rarely seen Rage used as precisely as the way Boss is doing it now. This is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about what he's been doing to support that those high muskies. Doing a good job overall with it. RF has had no chance to mount any real offense. He's had to play E-Golem defensively twice here. And that's going to be a bunch of free elixir to the right-hand lane. RF now setting up on the other side and trying to just burn onto this tower. E-Golem gets kited. That's actually good for, Battler gets kited. I think that's actually good for him. Barbut trying to stop the big push on the right-hand lane. I don't know if RF can survive this. Mini P.E.K.K.A gets away. GG, well played. Boss with a clean 3-0. The stinky cheese does not pull it off for RF. And Boss not only qualifies for stage 3, but wins $1,000 US. What a play. Boss on fire today. Qualifies for stage 3. Now, if you are a God RF fan, don't be worried. He does have 6 more chances to qualify. Boss, though, moving on with a huge performance over one of the defending CRL West champions. That was wild. And look, you can say Goblin Giant Sparky Rage, you can go, no skill, you can say that, but I will say this, that the way in which Boss positioned the Musketeer and used Rages to support that, that was skillful. Here's the end of game number 1, the end of regulation, and a game that looked like RF had completely locked up. Just loses track of it. And here's another good, well-timed Rage. Another smart, well-timed Rage. Good job by Boss there. And then matchup number 2, Ice Rocket. And again, relatively close considering the matchup. But Boss with some good choices today. And then this Goblin Giant Sparky deck. And you can see RF just trying to steal on the left-hand side. The Battle Healer probably would have been better if it went that way. I said it might have been good it went to distract the troops on the other side, buy him some time, but Boss able to hold on to his elixir well enough and able to counter-push the opposite direction. I wish we could go back and see the way that he kept on taking the E-Drag out with the high Musketeer and then dropping that Rage just perfectly to just barely bring that Musketeer in. Mwah, mwah. GG, well played to the young American. Taking his next step in the NoTilt World Championship. A big year for Boss here in 2020. NoTilt World Championship, now moving on to Stage 3. We'll be playing for TTG and CRL East coming up this season. Pretty big year for him. Ronan asking, who's the commentator? What's his name? Hi, Ronan. I'm Rich Slayton, caster for Clash Royale League. I do a bunch of other Clash Royale content as well. You can go ahead and follow me on YouTube at Rich Slayton, Twitter, all the different things. And oh, that's right below me. Look, there you go. On Twitter, Instagram, at Rich Slayton. Look me up on YouTube, Rich Slayton. All the good stuff. You know what? In fact, I've been saying it right here. If you want to see the Eastern NoTilt World Championship Eastern matches from this morning, that's actually on my YouTube page. So go ahead and check those out. You can stay along with it. And that's it for today. Guys, it's been fun. I'm Rich Slayton. See you next time. Right back here. I'll see you back early in the morning on the 3rd for the next semifinals in the Eastern region. Take care. Bye.